Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channels and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes to continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by the Transact Card, Align Life, Brain-Based Health Solutions, Chiro HD, Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, Life Chiropractic College West, Pro Hockey Chiros, Pro Baseball Chiros, the IFCO, and 100% Chiropractic. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 549 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I'm your producer, Luke Willett, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Dr. John Reizer. And if you want to hear about his new movie, Target List, and that Big Pharma is not your friend, stay tuned for the full episode. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. It's 549th episode. We just had our 6th year anniversary, born on the 4th of July. Pretty cool. Today I have John Reizer on with me. Just watched his movie Target List. Really excited to discuss this movie. And we're going to talk a lot about chiropractic. It's a pretty cool theme that we ride here on the show. And the other part of this is Big Pharma is not your friend. So I think that we're going to get a lot of people interested in understanding where we're coming from on that topic. But before we jump into this episode, I'm going to let everyone know our big why. Why do we do what we do over here at Chiro Hustle? Well, first things first is the First Amendment. We believe in freedom of speech. Very important thing. We've never censored anyone, although we do know what it feels like to be censored on the other side. I had Peter McCullough on. And it was YouTube does not like Peter McCullough, just FYI. But then we also do this platform because we want to protect medical freedom and family health freedom. They're two topics that are very important to us. If you guys were curious to learn more, come over to chirohustle.com, listen to more episodes. I do ask people to pay a fee. The fee is to share the show. If you like what we do over here at Chiro Hustle, please share this with friends, family, colleagues, or patients, people that need to hear this message. So when you listen to this episode, we just ask you to pay the fee and share the show. And then we do believe and support subluxation-based chiropractic. It's very important to us that people support and understand that these terminologies that we share need to get back into the chiropractic colleges. And then we support BJ Palmer's Sacred Trust. If you want to learn more about chiropractic, go and search for BJ Palmer's Last Words and Sacred Trust, and you're going to learn a whole lot more about chiropractic than you previously did. And then last but not least, we believe in innate intelligence and universal intelligence, that when man or woman, the physical gets adjusted, it connects them to man or woman, the spiritual. And with that, episode 549, Dr. John Reizer, welcome.
Thank you, James. I really appreciate the opportunity to connect with your audience and to be on the platform. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I like to open this up and just kind of tell your story, because I think that that's what makes this platform so valuable, and getting people to share what makes them unique in the chiropractic world is something I really enjoy. So how did you get into chiropractic, and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, chiropractic has been a big part of my life. I've been a chiropractor since 1986. I graduated from Sherman College in 1986, and I started chiropractic college in 1983. First generation chiropractor. I never had any other chiropractors in the family, but went to school with my cousin at that time who became a chiropractor, and we have other chiropractors. My brother's a chiropractor. He's my younger brother. He's been practicing for 10 years younger than me, but for a long time. And he married a chiropractor. So we have so many chiropractors in the family now. We started our own college. But when I got into it back I entered Sherman in 1983. I came down to, I did some detective work on what was chiropractic, and I went around to some people that were in New Jersey, my native state, and um, I actually got accepted to New York Chiropractic College and put in some applications to some other colleges. And after just talking with people, and I just came to the conclusion that the school that I wanted to go to was Sherman College in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and it had to do with the philosophy, the rationale of what they were doing there. And I didn't even realize that initially that there were two different types of philosophies in chiropractic, and one was a more medical version of chiropractic, kind of like an orthopractic, where they treated disease by adjusting, I guess, kind of like osteopathy. And then there was what we called traditional or straight chiropractic back in the day, where people were doing more of the original tenets of chiropractic with the B.J. Palmer and the Fountainhead in Davenport, Iowa, what they were doing. So Sherman College was the sister school at the time and of the Palmer College, and they did the Palmer College system. And so I was really impressed with it. And that's how I got involved with it. And when I went to Sherman in 1983, it was one of the biggest classes that they had at the time. It was over 100 students that came in. I think we doubled the size of the school. And I have great memories from my chiropractic education and learning such an amazing profession. Professions, Jim, are defined by the objectives that they do and not the techniques they do. So a lot of times people get confused about chiropractic because chiropractors, we're called doctors, and we see patients, but we do something completely different than the medical field. And so I think I spent a good part of my career, not only while I was in school, but when I graduated, teaching people what chiropractic is, what a chiropractic lifestyle is, and how important chiropractic is to our health. And I think that's something that a lot of people, they still to this day don't understand. So that's my introduction to the profession.
So follow up to that, what was it like to be on faculty at Sherman?
Oh, well, years later, after I graduated chiropractic college in 1986. I moved to New Jersey, back to my hometown. I practiced for 10 years, and then I had an opportunity to come down to South Carolina. I love South Carolina. I like the weather. Like it was less expensive than New Jersey. And when I came here, I applied to become a member of the faculty, and it took a couple of years because just of different things that were going on, openings at the college. But in 1998, I got hired, and it changed my life because it was really very interesting to view the profession from a different angle. And later, as my career went on, I got to view chiropractic from many different angles. I was, obviously I was a student, and then I was a doctor for 35 years practicing in private practice, but I also was a faculty member, an associate professor, and I had an opportunity to interact with students. And my duties at Sherman College were more like a practicing chiropractor. I was in the health center for most of the time, and I was overseeing other interns and helping them hone their skills as chiropractic practitioners. So I was a working chiropractor in there, carried malpractice insurance, and had an opportunity for many years there to basically oversee these patients and their care and the interns. And so they were my patients really, but we were leasing them out to the chiropractic interns, and it was a really cool way to spend those years.
Yeah, I think it's really it's a cool story to hear how you went back to private practice and then decided to come back to Sherman and join that the college as a faculty. And I think there is it's a whole different campus nowadays. I know I saw you back there for the Sherman 50th Lyceum. What was the campus like when you were there, and what has changed since then?
Well, the thing that's changed the most is the physical structures, the buildings. Some of the buildings weren't even there when I was going to school. The main building was there, and it looked similar. It looks the same from the outside, but from the inside, it looks nothing like it once did. I think when people first go into the building now, into the campus of buildings, their first impression is, this is really impressive. The college is, and I'm probably biased, but I believe that Sherman College is the premier chiropractic college in the world. I don't think there's another facility that has the physical capabilities, the physical structures, but also the faculty is unmatched, and the curriculum and the way that they teach chiropractic to students. You are going to be successful as a chiropractor in earning a living, but most importantly, you're going to be successful in taking care of your patients and making sure that they have the ability to be healthy, free from vertebral subluxation or interference to the nerve system, which allows for the most genuine expression of health or life. And that's what chiropractic is all about.
Yeah, and I was listening to, a lot of the speakers over there at the Lyceum, and I think they do something really unique with that school is they bring experts in that aren't faculty there, and for the upper quarter students, and they actually let people like myself talk to them about marketing, or they let experts that do other aspects of practice growth or management come in and speak with them, which I think is really, really cool, because that gives a perspective outside of the responsibilities of the professors to deliver topical information that can help with the understanding of what real life practice is like once they get out of chiropractic school.
Totally agree. I can tell you, when I went to school at Sherman, one of the things that was lacking was the business running of a business. And, we had 5,000 hours and only a few hundred hours in business. And you can be the best chiropractor in the world, the best practitioner, but if you don't have the business skill sets and the ability to convey your message to the public, you're not going to be successful. And if you're not successful in business, you're not going to be able to help people. So I think that one of the things Sherman has done really well, besides improving what the grounds and the facility looks like, is they have constructed within the faculty, within the curriculum, a good business plan that allows people, ensures them that they're going to be successful practitioners for the long haul, and especially from a business standpoint, because you can't be successful and help people if your business fails. And that's the most important thing that people need to understand. And I think that has been solved. I think that the track record in the past 5 to 10 years has demonstrated that Sherman's graduates go on to be very, very successful practitioners. And you're well educated. You come out, you're going to pass the boards, but you know how to be a chiropractor. And when I say you know how to be a chiropractor, I also mean you know how to run a chiropractic business, because it's just as important.
I love all that. And I think that there's so many different levels of becoming a practitioner, and becoming a practitioner is more than passing boards, which a lot of the other colleges focus on solely. And I think that if we really got back to like the basics, what we were talking about, the fundamentals, becoming a good adjuster and then running a good business and being smart enough and trained just good enough to pass those boards makes you competent to go out there and to take care of your community. So I think what you said really matters. And we need to go back to the fundamentals and the basics and learn how to check, detect, and correct vertebral subluxation, and have strong philosophy, and go out there and run good chiropractic centers and be good business owners. So kudos to you for bringing all that to the conversation today. I know that you have a poster over your shoulder there that says Target List. It's a movie
that's a coincidence. It just happens to be there.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Transact Card, Align Life, Brain-Based Health Solutions, Chiro HD, Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, Life Chiropractic College West, Pro Hockey Chiros, Pro Baseball Chiros, the IFCO, and 100% Chiropractic. Let's hustle.
But you have a movie that you helped write and helped produce. And talk a little bit about Target List, because I know that the theme inside of there will take us into another topic, that Big Pharma is not your friend.
Yes, Jim. So in 2019, I wrote a novel called The Target List, and it was something that I wanted to write for a long time because I knew that I wanted to write a story that was entertaining, but also something that sent a very important message to people. And that was that Big Pharma is not your friend. So the story, the basic premise of the story is that these team of medical doctors and scientists, they develop an instrument that cures or eradicates cancer through frequency signatures. And it deals with a little bit of quantum physics, but the way that the instrument works is that, in theory, the instrument would take diseased tissues and break them down into their cellular components, and then break them down even further into frequencies. And then while that happened, it would then reset them back from frequencies to cells and then to tissues. And during that process, they figured out that the body would just reset. It would recalibrate, and the natural intelligence of universal intelligence would recalibrate that back to health. And they called that wave-altering nanoparticle disruption, or the WAND. That was the name of the instrument. And I came up with that. That was my brainchild, and I wanted to incorporate that instrument into the story. So what happens in the story is that after they introduce this instrument, the pharmaceutical industry gets wind of it, and they're not pleased, because this is going to basically change the way cancer treatments are handled from that point forward. So they hire an assassin, or a team of assassins in the novel, to go after the creators, the creative intelligence people that did the WAND, and they're on the target list. That's the premise of the story, and the whole story is them trying to save the technology as well as themselves. And so the book came out. I self-published the book in 2019. This was before COVID and the pandemic. And then the book was we made it into an Audible book on the Amazon platform, or the Audible platform. And I had a lot of people that told me, they said, this movie has cinematic potential. And I didn't have the slightest idea how to go about changing a novel into a screenplay. So I started scouring the internet and started looking for people. And it was, people said that I was crazy. There's no way that you can make a movie. This is a very competitive business. Forget it. Well, lo and behold, after a long search, I ran into someone on the internet, and her name was MJ Palo. And MJ Palo is a gifted screenwriter. And I convinced, and she's not only a gifted screenwriter, she's a molecular biologist. What are the chances? And she graduated from the University of Nevada, Reno, and she had a movie to her name already that was out, and it starred the girl from the Walking Dead, Danny Garcia. It was called Baby Money, but I didn't know this at the time. So she read the novel, and she agreed to help me write the screenplay. We collaborated on the screenplay, and it went on for many months. And when we finished, she liked it. She says, we need to shoot a proof of concept movie. I had no idea what a proof of concept movie was, but it's a small trailer movie of about 12 or 13 minutes. And you shoot this movie for the purpose of showcasing it to people in Hollywood or people that might be investors. And we did this. I went out there with her after we wrote the screenplay, and they shot the film that was in April of 2021. And the film came out in August of 2021, and it did pretty well. The ratings and the feedback they got from people was very, very positive. At that point, I became seriously ill. I got very, very sick. And my sickness caused me to be in a hospital for 95 days. And I had 7 surgical procedures, and I nearly lost my life. And I never get sick. I mean, I can count on on one hand the amount of times I've had any kind of serious illness. And I to make a long story short, when I got out of this hospital situation, I had to relearn how to walk. I was on a ventilator for 18 days at one point, and then 5 or 6 days another time. But when I was cognizant again, one of the first things I did was I contacted MJ Paolo, and I said, "What's going on with the movie?" And she said, "We're going to make the movie." So that's how that started. And I got out of the hospital in December of 2021, and they started doing pre-production and casting, and I was involved with a lot of it, like conference calling, Zoom calls, and stuff like that. But I helped out as much as I could. I would love to have been on set, but I couldn't make it. I was so recovering from my illness. And so they shot the film between April and May of 2021, and the film went into post-production, and it came out in April, May of this year. And just really, really pleased with the way the full feature film came out. And it's gotten very good reviews from the people that have watched it. The IMDb ratings have been great. We've had some professional movie journalists give it very high marks. And the thing that's so important about this movie, Jim, is that Target List, yes, it's an action thriller, and it is good. It's entertaining, and it does have some comedic beat to it, where there's comedy infused in it, timely. But it's more important than that, because what this movie does is it tells people in the back of their mind when they get finished watching this film that there's something more serious in a message that's going to be delivered here. And that's that, if someone were to come up with something that would really benefit humanity health-wise, would for-profit pharmaceutical companies stand down? Would they try to suppress it? And I think that we can look at what happened in the last 3 years with the pandemic, and we can see how much censorship there was, and how many people in the world that were healthcare professionals never got a chance to speak about things that were very truthful but yet suppressed. And I think we were really conned into believing a narrative that wasn't so truthful. But that's what Target List is about, and it's currently available on Tubi, which is a free movie platform where you can see the movie with ads for free, or you can buy it on Amazon or rent it on Amazon or the Apple platform. So it's out there, and it's in 26 countries now, and it's gonna grow bigger. We expect to have the movie on over 100 different movie platforms by the end of this year, and we're very, very happy that that Mad Wife Productions, which is the company that did the movie, we're happy that they invested in this project, because it cost nearly almost $300,000 to make this film, and they invested into it, and other people invested. And so we're very, very happy and fortunate to be able to have a movie that tells a different story about things.
So I watched the movie. I really enjoyed the characters. I thought that the writing was very solid. I watched the part of how people, even the assassin within the movie. I thought that the character is really solid. But I guess it opens up a bigger question for me, is you being so entrenched in chiropractic and you understanding the medical system from being a patient that had some complications going through getting healthy again. and you understand suppression and censorship too.
Yes.
Do you ever see big pharma or big box medicine doing the right thing for people? Do you ever see them like going like to the point where they're going to help people with quality of life, or do you always think it's going to be something that only profits off their quarterlies to see how much drugs they can sell people?
I think when you look at medicine as a profession, I think there are potentials in medicine that can be very helpful to people. Um, for example, if you're in an emergency situation where you need to be life sustained, or I think that there's no better place in the world than to be in the organized or allopathic medicine right now.
I call it big
However,
box medicine.
yeah, yeah. However, the same doctors that might stabilize you in a life emergency, if they treat you for a chronic illness, are liable to kill you. And it's not because they're bad people. It's because the protocols that have been written into existence in big medicine are written by big pharma. And your original question was, do I ever see big pharma helping people? Big pharma is not in the business to make people well. Big pharma is in the business to manage diseases, or as I call them, intellectual properties that have specific diagnostic and procedural codes that apply to surgical procedures and pharmaceutical products being introduced into people. Most drugs, if not all drugs, alter the physiology or inhibit the expression of health. Sometimes in emergency situations, this is a necessary thing. But if we talk about chronicity or in the management of illness, these things tend to cause more problems and more complications. And then we get into another whole classification of pharmacology, which is vaccines. And there's basically no regulatory oversight in this at all. This is junk science at the highest level. I think it was the past editor of the New England Journal of Medicine that said that 75 to 85% of everything that's published in medical research is bought and paid for by the same people that are looking for the results. So, why would drug companies that profit from the proliferation of disease be in the business of handing out vaccines either free or cheap to stop disease, to prevent disease? Do you think they really care for people?
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
And I think the bigger answer there is we probably don't ever see them doing the right thing.
That's right.
And really assisting people to have better quality of life.
I agree.
It's almost too far gone to have them ever think that they're going to do something positive for our society or for culture as a whole. Well, let's get back into chiropractic a little bit.
Sure.
And maybe you could share with us some of the people that have inspired you to become the chiropractor you are today, and maybe some heroes and mentors.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of them. The faculty members that I had in front of me for 4 years as a chiropractic college student, were my biggest mentors and heroes. These are people that gave back to the profession, and that in the trenches, really teaching chiropractic is a unique experience. I've been on both ends of that, as the student and as the teacher, and so I was always impressed by when first time I ever heard him speak, of course, was Reggie Gold, and I admire people that had ironclad stamina, like Tom Gilardi, who was the president of Sherman College for many, many years, and the pioneer of Sherman College. That the work that he did in just fighting the forces of evil, if you call it, that tried to terminate chiropractic. And there were conspiracies that were in play to eliminate this profession, because I think many people in medicine at the time, or the powers that be in medicine, thought and knew that chiropractic was a dangerous concept because not only did it give people a better expression of health, but it pointed out the inadequacies and the illogicality associated with traditional medicine. And although those people never would, most chiropractors, they didn't want to talk about medicine. They just wanted to defend chiropractic, and they were a lot nicer than the people attacking them. But when you start diving into those concepts, you see that there's really a lot to attack. But yeah, I would say people like that. I had my hometown chiropractor. His name was Dr. Vinny Toma, and he was a chiropractor in New Jersey that really opened my eyes to the profession. Unfortunately, he passed away many years ago, but he was a great guy and someone I looked up to. And there have been others. There have been a lot of them. And I wouldn't have been the chiropractor or the chiropractic educator that I am today without people like that. And there's another one was Dick Plummer. Dick Plummer used to work at Sherman as he was involved with teaching there on faculty. And this guy was phenomenal when it came to media and talking and talking tick and really, really taught me a lot as far as how to explain chiropractic and do it in a simple manner so that people can understand it. Because chiropractic is simple. The philosophy is simple, not the technique and that takes some skill set, but the philosophy of chiropractic is real simple. And that chiropractic philosophy has remained with me for many, many years. And, the body knows what it's doing, and just try to remove a type of interference from it so it can do the job better. And, it's very, very humbling to see how powerful and how intelligent the body is. The body is intelligent. The body strives to be healthy. And in spite of all the things that we do to it, and the poisons and the toxins we put in, it still manages to maintain health for the most part until we pollute it to the point where there's limitations of matter and it can't do it anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that there are lots of fundamentals to the philosophy of chiropractic. It needs nothing extra in the body. It simply needs some interference. And I think that we are dealing with a different type of chiropractic profession today. We're dealing with people that are more toxic than ever. And it's coming from their air, it's coming from their water, it's coming from their food, it's coming from their ideas, their thoughts. We have a very confused culture. And I think that just knowing that we have to do better and we can do better, that's the part that really gives me a lot of hope when it comes to like people en masse is people do know better and people are looking for a better way. So I'm really thankful to have you on today, Dr. John. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to share with our audience today?
No, I think that we covered pretty much. I would recommend that anybody that is interested in a career in chiropractic, check out Sherman College. And I would recommend that anybody that is interested in being healthy get under chiropractic care, because I think it's not about back pain and neck pain. Yeah, that's a little bit a part of it, why people go there, but chiropractic's not necessarily about how you feel, it's about how you function. And if you want to have the best possible expression of health possible, I think that one of the many things that you can do, one of the most important things you can do, is go to a chiropractor and get your spine checked and make sure you're free from vertebral subluxations. And after you do that, go watch a good movie, the Target List movie.
Awesome.
And tell other chiropractors to tell that to their patients too. This is an important movie. It really hits home the fact that there's better things to do than taking drugs. But yeah.
Yeah. So if they want to check this out, they can go to what's the streaming platform again?
So the official movie website is thetargetlistmovie.com. thetargetlistmovie.com, and you can also find that on Amazon Prime. You can find it on Apple iTunes, and you can find it on Tubi, and it'll be coming on other platforms as well.
All right, so go check out Target List. I've watched it already. I think you should watch it too. Thetargetlistmovie.com. go check it out, Amazon Prime, Apple iTunes, and Tubi. So, Dr. John, thank you for being our guest today. And I'm going to close out by telling everybody you're just one story away. Keep hustling. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Dr. John, thank you for being episode 549 of the Chiro Hustle podcast.
Thanks, James. Pleasure.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.